Okay, this next lesson is on borrowing and investing. So you probably borrowed some money, or you might have made some investments at some point in your life, or if you haven't, you will most definitely be doing that in the near future. When you're looking for a loan or you're looking to invest some money, you'll be presented with a number of options in terms of different terms that you need to pay back a loan, or different interest rates, or different compounding periods, when you would make payments, a number of these different things. So when it comes to determining which investment or which loan is best for you, generally you're looking for the loan where you will you'll be able to accept the terms and pay back the least amount of interest. And when you're looking at an investment, you're going to be looking for an investment that will pay you back or earn you the most interest. So in order to compare these, though, we need to try to compare them at the same level. It's difficult to say that to compare a loan or investment if we're just looking at what the term is. So if I say I have a 8% loan, and you'll have to pay it back in 5 years, or I have a 9% that you have to pay back in 6 years. So it's kind of hard to say which one's better there. What you'll need to do is do some sort of analysis to see which of those loans will you pay the most amount of interest on. So first, let's look at a question here. It says, how much money would be owed if we borrowed $2,500 and it was taken out for 4 years, and we were charged 12% simple interest. So simple interest is, of course, just we multiply the principal by 12% and by 4. We have to pay back $1,200 in interest, but we also have to pay back the initial $2,500. So altogether, after 4 years, we have to pay back $3,700. Another question you might be asked is if we had an investment of $6,250, it says how much interest was earned on this investment after 8 years of biweekly compounded interest of 5.2%. So if I take that $6,250 principal and I multiply that by 1 plus the interest rate compounded bi-weekly, so I have to divide that by 26, to the power of the 8 years times 26 bi-weekly periods per year, I end up with $9,470.35. But we're asked how much interest was earned. So this is how much our investment is worth. To find out how much interest is earned, we have to subtract the principal. So we have $3,220.35 is how much we earned from that investment. Now, the next type of question is a comparison problem. So we say here that this bank is offering a $5,000 loan at 4.5% compounded monthly, and a credit union will give you the same $5,000 loan at 5% simple interest. So which loan is going to charge you the least amount of interest if we have to pay this back in 7 years? Let's look at the bank's loan. It's $5,000, so let's figure out how much this will be worth. 5,000, sorry, let me just redo this. 5,000 multiplied by 1 plus 0.045 compounded monthly to the power of 7 times 12. So 7 times 12. So after 7 years, you'll have to pay the bank back $6,847.26. But we have to compare the same things here. So let's see how much we have to pay back in interest. So let's subtract the initial $5,000 from that. The interest on that is the $1,847.26. You'll have to pay back the $5,000 regardless of the investment, but it's the interest that we're trying to compare here. So this is how much interest we'd have to pay. I'm going to put this value in my calculator's memory so that we can use it later for another calculation I'll be doing. Let's look at how much interest do we have to pay back on the simple interest investment. That's just $5,000 times 5% times 7 years. So for the simple interest, we'll have to pay back $1,750 in interest. So if we take the simple interest loan, even though it's at 5% simple interest, and 5% is greater than 4.5%, we'll pay back less because it's not compounded as much. So how much money would we save by taking the credit union's loan over the bank's loan? Well, let's take that number we saved earlier. This is the interest we had to pay to the bank, and we subtract the interest we have to pay to the credit union. You save almost $100, $97.26. So $97.26 is how much you would save by taking the credit union's loan versus the bank's loan. So this is partly how we would use this information to determine which is the better investment option or which is the better loan option. So the questions you'll see here, I'll do one of each for 1, 2, and 3, and then I'll talk through number 4. Let's do 1B. So we have $350. It says determine the total amount to be repaid for these simple interest loans. So $350 times 13%, and it's over 5 months. I have to add to this value, that's the interest, the $350, so I'll have to pay back $369.96. Let's look at question 2B. $27,000 is invested at 3.2% compounded daily for 3.75 years. So I take this value, I multiply this by 1 plus the rate, 0.032, compounded daily, so divided by 365, to the power of 365 times 3.75. So altogether, my investment is going to be worth $30,442.25 after the 3.75 years. We're saying how much interest is earned. I have to subtract the principal. So we're earning $3,442.25 from that investment. Let's look at 3B. $65,000 is borrowed for 6 years at 7.6% compounded semi-annually versus the $65,000 borrowed at 7.8% compounded annually. So which of these two investments is best, or which of these two loans is best? So for the semi-annually compounded loan, it's 1 plus 0.076 divided by 2. And this would be to the power of 12 because it's 6 times 2. So this is how much money you would have to pay back. So I'll just save this in my calculator's memory. I just press the MS button to save it in memory. And then let's find out what happens if we put this at 1 plus 0.078 compounded annually to the power of 6 years. So in this case, I would owe back $100,002 about. So let's compare that. Is this less than this value? It's more. And it's actually more by $315.26. So you're better off taking the 7.6% compounded semi-annually investment over the 7.8% compounded annually investment. That's how you'd answer a question like this. Question 4 says the bank offers a rate of return of 12%, and in this case you have another investment that's 12.5% compounded monthly. Which one is the better investment? So we don't have a term here. We don't have a a principal. So what you need to do is select a term and select a principal. Let's just say $10,000. I'll do the half of this question, so I'll just do the compounded daily one. $10,000 times 1 plus 0.12 divided by 365. And let's say I invest this for 1 year, so to the power of 365. This is how much money I would earn compounded daily. You need to do the same thing with $10,000 compounded monthly for 1 year and compare those two investments. Which one makes you more money? Let's now take a look at the quiz for this. Let's see here. The quiz for this unit is, or this lesson. So just to show you what you'll see on this question, or these questions here, again, for your units, you'll have to put in the dollar value. So what I see here is it says that we have a total value of our investment is $9,770. And we have to determine the total value. It's 3.5% simple interest for 2.25 years. This is the interest. I have to add to that the initial investment, and then I would put this value in 10,539. 0.3875. Oh, sorry, 0.39. So that's how I would be answering these questions. Again, accurate to the nearest penny. Question 2 and 3 are sort of the same. What I want to show you next is the two bigger questions here. So let's do question 6. It says we have $7,000 and we want to invest this for 5 years. We have two investments. We're trying to determine which one is the better option. So let's compare the 7,000. Let's find out what it would be at 5% compounded annually. So 7,000 times 1 plus 0.05 to the power of 5. This is how much money we would earn compounded annually, versus 7,000 times 1 plus 0.048 divided by 52 to the power of 52 times 5. This is how much we would earn compounded weekly. So let's subtract investment B from what we would earn from investment A. We have a negative value, meaning that we would earn $36.21 more using investment A than investment B. So if you just answer your question like this, which one will earn the most money and how much more money will you earn? Really, you could just say the difference between them, and then that'll be enough to show that you know the answer for this question. So that's how you would do these types of questions on your quiz. The rest of them are pretty straightforward, so I'll leave those on for you to try. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in class, or you can email me on the course website.